Welcome to the XG Production channel. This is where I talk about my latest games, trailers for the games I just made, and more. For the first video of this channel, I gave myself 10 days to recreate Buckshot roulette from scratch in Scratch. I simply thought it would be a good idea to have this as my first video, as at the time I started this, Buckshot roulette was very popular. Not only is it not as relevant these days, I took about 6 months to finish it. This video is going to try and go through the process I did to make it, and the link to the game will be in the description. And with that, let us begin with the... It was the first day and I have just created a post on my second channel explaining I will not be uploading for a while, aka 6 months. I already wrote what I wanted to achieve for this challenge as well. My goals for the end of the challenge were to recreate Buckshot roulette as faithful as possible, to make a mode with no items, a quote-unquote hard mode, and to make the game as easily moddable as I could make it. With that all in mind, I began the first day. Day 1, I added the feature to load the chamber and started working on round 1. Yeah, not that much. But I was glad it was all done. Before I started this, I created another account on Scratch and tried to figure out how I might code some features. Out of all the features I tested, I took weeks to try and figure out a bug when it came to loading the chamber, and to this day, I haven't fixed it. It relieved me a lot that not only did I get the chamber done on the first day, I never encountered the glitch. And with that, let's just move on. Day 2 started and I was still fresh and excited about doing this challenge. Today, I essentially finished round 1 of the game. This means I got a lot of gameplay finished, a way to lose, and got the AI to work. I will be referring to the dealer as an AI, so keep that in mind. I planned for round 2 to get started the next day, and to add 1 or 2 items as well. With that wrapped up, and a few days later, I would end up doing... Day 3 is when a pattern started to emerge. That day, I got the magnifying glass and handsaw to work. I also got the cigarettes to work, but I changed it to a first aid kit for obvious reasons. I would also get round 2 to work, but didn't get the AI to use the items yet. I encountered my first glitch where the AI would speak some of its dialogue twice, which would cause some really hard reading problems. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to be fixed and moved on. Day 4 was pretty simple. First I got the beer can working, and then I gave the AI the ability to use items. Since I didn't have a good understanding on how the AI works, I did my best to make the AI do in what he does in the game. Up to this point, I have played Buckshot roulette a couple of times, and I have a pretty good understanding on what you should and shouldn't do. That was basically it for the rest of the day, as I would play Buckshot roulette for the other half, trying to figure out how certain parts of the game worked, so I could implement it into Scratch better. Day 5, I added the last item to the game, the handcuffs. But I am only just realizing I haven't told you what any of the items do, so I will make the video have a timestamp so you can skip this part. The handcuffs will skip your opponent's next turn, the first aid kit heals you 1 life, the magnifying glass tells you the next bullet, and the handsaw makes the next bullet do double damage. I would also get round 2 to be playable, and the same bug from day 3 would appear, as well as a new one where the AI would receive 3 items instead of 2, making my job a lot harder. I would not do much on day 6, as most of it was dealing with yesterday's new bug, which I am pretty sure I fixed, but I don't have anything in my notes saying I fixed it though. I would then add some smaller features like a limit to the amount of items you can hold, but that's about it. Once again, I spent the rest of the day studying the original game, but which this time I focused on round 3. Day 7 is when the difference in recording times is truly shown off, as it goes from October 2024 to the same day I released the esports video on my second channel, which is the 19th of January 2025. Between those days, I have been on holidays, dealing with no internet for many weeks on end, and just simple procrastination. Day 7, I got a lot of progress on round 3 done and made a win screen. The part I haven't finished was during the sudden death part of round 3, and that was due to many bugs that popped up. First of all, both the player and opponent will sometimes hold more items than I programmed them to do. Sometimes not moving onto the sudden death part, and sometimes both the player and the AI became immortal. Despite all of this, I did better than I thought, considering the gap between last working on the project and that day. 3 days left until the challenge was finished. I was getting nervous, as about here I made the post saying this video will be released for my second channel's second birthday. I was unsure how finished it would end up being, and ended up making the decision that no one will be featured in this video. I originally planned for like 3 or 2 of my friends to test it to show how well I went, but that just did not get enough time. So on day 8, I moved past the main mode and got the no items mode done. I also began work on the title screen so it looks good when you first join the game. Day 9 went with a great start, as I would end up doing a bunch of bug fixes for 30 minutes without recording. Luckily enough, I don't think anything major got fixed, so I just ended up moving on. I would end up getting the no items finished and the hard mode finished, to my knowledge. I also got the title screen finalized, and also came across many soft locks I had to fix. So without much to report on, let us move on to the final day. It was the final day and I was nervous. I did the final day right after finishing the second half of this video, and this I'm speaking right now was made right after that. On the final day, I made a grave realization. This game I've been making for 10 days is an unfixable buggy mess. Today alone, I came across so many problems and glitches that I ended the day early. The day was meant to be for doing the finishing touches, the bug fixes, and making it look good. In the end, I don't think I got any bugs fixed. What I did get done was the thumbnail of the game, the need to beat game modes to unlock more game modes, and a better title screen. If you're watching up to this point, I may try to fix these bugs in the future, maybe add more game modes in the process, and I would appreciate if anyone who could help me in the future either remix the game or fix the problems. And with that, the challenge was completed. In conclusion, I started very well and got the basic game done, but the more I added, the glitchier it got. This game took much more time than it should have, been spread over 6 months. Although the end result wasn't very good, I still feel that this video and this game was a great start to this new channel. If you watched up to here, congratulations, you went through a lot of my pain. Please subscribe and share this video around. I really need help fixing this game I have made, and thank you for watching.